Hey everybody, Rude Dog Outdoors again. I just caught a video by my friend Leo over at the Irish Zombie Nation about his 3 favorite budget knives. I'm not much of a knife reviewer, just because I have very eclectic tastes in blades. I just buy what I like. But he touched on, a couple of knives that I did like, and I thought, this would be a great tag type video. So I asked him if it'd be alright if I did that, and he said sure. So without further ado, let's get down to what I think are my 3 favorite budget blades, plus I'm going to give you a little extra. One extra. So let's go with my I don't want to call it my least favorite, but the ironic thing I'll tell you first off is all of these are Schrade knives, and this is probably not my favorite. It's the 3rd favorite only because I've just gotten it and I haven't really gotten a chance to use it a whole lot. That is the SCHF 55. This is a Griffin design knife. If you know anything about Schrade and the Griffin designs, SCHF 9, SCHF 42, 42D, SCHF 55. I'm sure there's another 1 or 2 in there. These are all designed by I think it's Brian Griffin. Every knife that he's done for Schrade so far, I've really liked, and this one's no exception. Now this is a very small knife, as you can see. All right, this is an under 4 inch. I'm gonna say the blade's about 4 inches. Cutting edge probably about 3.5, maybe 3 3/4. Nice jimping. Let me see. I'm in direct sun, guys, so I don't know if I'm actually doing too well with the camera here, but it's got nice jimping. Not overly aggressive. I think Schrade's been doing a really good job. They've listened to people about this, the jimping being a little too aggressive, and they've subbed it down a little bit. Only thing I'm not crazy about is the fit of the handle scales. At least on mine, there's a bit of the spine coming through. Not so much on the lower part of the handle, but fits the hand real nice for being such a small knife and a small handle. It fits the hand really nice. I'm going to compare it to another knife in the lineup here shortly, but full flat grind with a secondary bevel. You can see that there. And so far, like I said, I've been playing around with this knife for a couple of days, and I really like this knife. I would call this a companion knife. This would be a great knife to put in a pack or put on your belt in conjunction with a tomahawk, a hatchet, or even a big chopper, say like the Jessica X, or no, I don't have one with me, or just a big chopper. I'm trying to think of the name of something, but like I have a big cookery I may do a video on later, and this would be a great fine task knife for that. Relatively thick. It's less than 3/16. I'm gonna say maybe 4 millimeter. I don't check the specs, guys. Like I said, I'm not a knife reviewer. I see what I like, I buy it, and that's about it. And I don't always buy name brand knives. It's just ironic that Schrade has really come through in the last couple of years with some gorgeous knives that I've really fallen in love with. Anyway, that's the SCHF 55 by Griffin Design. You can see there, by Schrade. Like that knife. Did I mention the sheath? I'm not sure if I mentioned the sheath. Comes with a Kydex sheath. There might be a thermoplastic sheath that pancakes like Kydex, and kind of digging this. Not. I haven't used this sheath. I'm not sure about the sheath. I'm not going to say I'm kind of digging it. What I like though is the belt loop is made of rubber. It's flexible, so it's got a little give on the belt. Now, like I said, I'm not really. I'm a leather guy. I like leather sheaths. So I have this knife, and don't judge me, guys. Like I said, I buy what I like. So this is Timberwolf All right, Timberwolf TW492. It's a Bud K knife. Here's the logo, if you want to see it. This comes in two versions. It comes in a plain, untreated blade, you know, high shine stainless, high polish stainless. Here the cross guard would be high polish stainless too, and then just wood, brown wood grips, no texturing to them. Then there's this one, kind of a black version, comes in a black sheath. And this isn't part of, although I like this knife, I like it a lot. This is only like a $15, $20 knife. I like this knife, but this isn't part of the top three. The reason I'm showing you this is for this. And this was one of the selling points. I really like this sheath. You know, nothing fancy, nothing special sheath. I just really liked it. And when I got the 55, it mates into that sheath perfectly. And I mean perfectly, guys. It's not going anywhere. So that's how I carry it. I carry it in this Timberwolf sheath, and I love it. Everyday carry. I've been doing it a lot. Tend to carry, you know, EDC, fixed blade. I tend to carry knives right around the 4-inch range. Just kind of my choice. Occasionally I do carry a bigger Bowie or something like that, depending on where I'm going, what I'm doing for the day. And a lot of times, you know, where I'm going, what I'm doing is going to dictate the blade that I put on my belt. Anyway, that is the SCHF 55, and we are going to move on now. I was rambled about the first one way too long. This is, again, ironically, this is another Schrade. This is the SCHF 33. Now, everybody's going to go, "Oh, Doug, what the hell is that? That's not a EDC blade." Yeah, I love this knife. I carry this all the time. SCHF 33. About a 4 1/4, not quite 4 1/2 inch on the blade or overall. About 4 1/2 on the blade overall, with about a 4 1/4 inch cutting edge. All right, and you can see it's a recurved, modified Tanto blade. And I'm not a fan of Tantos, but they do have their place. The thing with the Tantos are they're extremely strong in the tip. And I like a recurved blade. A lot of people don't. A lot of people have trouble sharpening a recurved blade. And did I bring my sharpener? No. I don't have a problem sharpening a recurved blade because I use rods. I use sharpening rods. I used to work in kitchens. I learned how to sharpen knives with sharpening rods. I'm not saying I'm great at it, but I can do it. Occasionally I do run into a problem with the steel, depending on what it is, where I have a hard time sharpening. I'm having a problem with that now on a knife that I will get to in another video. But there it is, SCHF 33. There's not a whole lot I can say about this knife. Fits the hand really nice. Very flat, very square. Some people won't like that, prefer round. But for me, I got a large hand, and this knife really fits in my hand really nicely. So just digging it. Oh, the handle material, I don't know. It feels like G10. I'm thinking it's G10. It's a really well-made knife, well constructed. What I do with the sheath, again, the sheath is a thermoplastic Kydex-like material with the with a hard molded belt loop, and I've had no issues with this sheath at all, except, let me stop there. Let me see if I can get that to zoom in. Yeah, see that little screw right there? Well, when I got it, it just didn't have any retention. I mean, it was sloppy loose. So all I did was drilled a tiny hole right there in the corner of the sheath, and I don't even have a nut on it. I just put this little tiny machine screw, and which I have dozens of these laying around for gun grips and stuff. And I put that tiny little machine screw in there and tightened it down. And like I said, I was going to put a nut on it, but I don't even have to, because it threaded itself. I drilled it the right size that the thread just caught, and now it snaps in. And while the retention isn't fantastic, this is not a knife. This is really not a woods knife. This is just, you know, around town, around the property. This hangs out on my belt. So, and I love it. It sharpens easy, again with a rod. You anti-recurve guys are not going to like this knife, but I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'll tell you, this would have been number one on my list if it hadn't been for the next one. I've only had this next one for, well, I shouldn't say only. It's been about 4 months, I guess, 5 months. Guys, you've seen 100 videos on this knife. If you have not gone out and if you have not gotten it yet, stop wasting time. Prices aren't going to get any better on it. Go out and get this knife in either of its versions, and that is the SCHF 42, or if you prefer, the 42D. Now, again, this is a Brian Griffin design. I have the 42. I like recurves, like I said. I love this knife. Oh my God, I love this knife. I didn't think that I would ever find a knife that really just cried out to me that this knife was made for me, and this is it. Leather sheath. I'm not thrilled with the leather sheath, but I like leather, and it's a good sheath. It fits really nicely. I just wish it had a deeper belt loop. I wish it carried just a little more like that, because the belt loop is so wide right here that it doesn't give it any flex on the belt, and when I sit down it tends to jab in, and you can see there's jimping on, they call this a crusher breaker, glass breaker, whatever. It's not pointed, but it'll do the job. You can use it for crushing nuts, stones, wood, making, you know, Maya dust with fat wood, whatever. Jimping's pretty good for using it for scraping too. It's got mildly aggressive, and this is one that, you know, a lot of guys kind of complained about. The jimping on the spine is far apart, but it's a little rough. If I wanted to, I could sand it down, but it doesn't really bother me that much. I know a lot of other guys complained about it, but that's about it. That's about the chief complaint. Fit on the grips is kind of similar to the 55. You know, they're not perfect. There's a little bit of tang exposed, edge exposed there. I'm planning on getting some the micarta. There's a couple of guys that make some really nice micarta grips for this, and I'm planning on getting some for it, and hopefully they're going to fit a little nicer. But guys, this, like I said, this knife just says, this is it. This was made for me. Every review I say, oh, and 1095 high carbon steel. I believe the 55 is also high carbon steel. I didn't mention that, but just, I love this knife. I love it. This has easily become my very favorite knife, and I do plan on getting, like I said, I wasn't crazy about the sheath. It's a nice sheath. I do plan on getting, Country Prepper makes Kydex for this, makes a nice Kydex sheath, and really reasonable prices. If you never heard of him, go check him out. He's got a YouTube channel, Country Prepper. His website for his sheaths is countryprepper.com. And that, you know, that's it. I'm gonna get a sheath from him, and I'm gonna get a set of micartas for this, and I love this knife. This is absolutely my favorite knife. This comes in right around the $50 mark. You can find it if you look. I got this off of eBay for right about 40. I think it was 45, and the guy had a best offer. And he let me have it. It is new. I got it new in the box. I would buy one of these secondhand any day of the week. Wouldn't bother me a bit. But that's it. That's it. It's SCHF 42. Highly recommended blade right here. Now that's the end of my top 3 budget knives, but I told you I had one more. And I'm going to show you guys. Oh, I put it on this side. I'm going to show this to you. This is a no-name Chinese knife. Now, I told you, I buy what I like. I see something, mostly online, you know, I buy it. I like it, I buy it. This was a $20 knife, maybe 22 maybe. All right, I don't have a name for it. I can't find it anymore. I don't think the seller has it. This pouch was not part of it, but it's a thermoplastic sheath that's molded. It does snap in a little bit right here at the guard. There's a press point that lets it snap in. It's got a removable dangler loop that can be moved around a little bit. I could let this ride lower, and I do believe that the retention loop would, I'm not in camera, I do believe the retention loop would still function if it rode lower. Anyway, that's not what you want to hear about. You want to see the blade. I love this knife. Now this is a big blade, it's a 7-inch blade. So this is definitely more of a woods knife. My face is out of camera, guys. I'm in the shadow because I can't see anything. I got the sun right in my eyes right now. You see there? Yeah, you can see, and that's well used. This is a really similar coating on this blade. As far as I know, it's stainless steel. I couldn't tell you what it is. I know nothing. As far as I know, it's a really similar coating as the Schrade. It feels identical. The color, it's not identical. It's more flat, where the Schrade's got almost a sparkliness to them. This is just, so why put a protective coating on a stainless steel blade? I don't know. I don't know if it's stainless. I don't know if it isn't. But fits the hand awesome. It's got nice thick spine, huge spine, throws sparks like you wouldn't believe. Takes an edge, holds an edge really well. Clip point, nice belly, full flat grind with a secondary bevel, which I like. I prefer a saber grind, but I like a full flat grind. I just think a saber grind does better for batoning and splitting wood, but I got no complaints with this one. Nice beefy molded handle. It is full tang. I know that because I have taken a magnet and it will stick all the way around. Just barely, but it will stick all the way around this handle here. So that is my, and it's China. There it is, China. It's the only mark on the whole thing. I kind of think this might be a copy, a knockoff of something else. Guys, if you recognize this blade, if this is a knockoff, let me know what it is, because I would absolutely love to buy a higher end version of this knife. And if I don't, if it's not a knockoff, I'm sending this to a maker to have one made that's going to get a different handle. I like this handle, but I want to have basically the same shape, but I want to have my Carta slabs on a full tang, you know, full, that I can see. Anyway, that's my $24 Who Did It and Ran knife that I absolutely love. And I would put this up against a lot of, I'm not going to say custom made, but I would put this up against a lot of factory made knives any day of the week. This knife will not let me down. And that's it. I'll put it back in the sheath, give you one more look in the sheath. I like the sheath too. I put that pouch on that. That's housing a, I think it's the UST fire starter in there. This is a mag pouch. Comes with Condor belts. I buy Condor pistol belts, and these mag pouches come on it. Works really good for what you see there. So that's it. I just wanted to show that. I have 2 of these, by the way. Love these knives. That's it. I just wanted to show off a little bit. Say hi. Thanks to Leo over at the Irish Zombie Nation for doing his video and letting me turn it into a tag again. We've done this before. So everybody, like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever. That's it. Have a nice day. And what are you doing watching me? Get outside. All right? You're wasting a beautiful day. See you later, guys.